everybody. We have a 1970 Smith Corona Classic 12 today. This is Laura with Jot and Tittle Typewriters, and I'm gonna do a tutorial video, or at least we're just gonna take a look at it. The Classic 12 means it's got a 12-inch carriage. It's all manual, and we have painted this bright red, and this is our favorite machine to paint red because the Classic 12 comes with a red logo plate, and sometimes these keys right here, which are interchangeable, have a red cover on them. And so we've always just, when a Classic 12 comes in, and sometimes we repaint them, sometimes we don't. Depends on the condition of the paint. But if we do need a red typewriter, we usually pick the Classic 12 because it just looks really nice together. And then these are fantastic typewriters. So if you're just entering into the typewriter world and you're looking for a good typewriter that's a really affordable, this is going to be excellent for you. We keep the 60s and 70s Smith Coronas at a much lower price point because we feel that they're really good typewriters for those of you who are just getting started. And we like keeping them down around $200. Sometimes they'll go up, and they range anywhere from $190 to $240. Depending on their condition. And so that's why they're good for beginners, just because they're affordable and they're just a great typewriter. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at this. So the 12-inch carriage is really designed for larger paper. So I always recommend it for crafters, just in case they're going to have a project that requires larger paper. But you can certainly put in paper, landscape, or portrait. It doesn't matter. Right here is a paper holder, and I'm just going to keep that up because it'll keep our paper from falling down. Now, when you load your paper, you just set it against this back plate right here, and then turn the handle. And that'll pull it through. Very nice. And then you just put this metal bar over that paper. It'll hold it taut against the typewriter. Now, you can see that my paper is just a little bit crooked, so you have a paper release right here, and you just pull that forward, and then you can, oops, let's try that again. Oh, that's right. This paper release doesn't release very well. In fact, it doesn't release at all. So, but the paper release on your typewriter should release it so that you can adjust it. And this is my very first typewriter where the paper release doesn't want to release. Okay, you have a paper guide here, and that's just handy if you're doing a multiple page project and you want to keep the margins in the same place. You want to load the paper in the same place every time. Your margin settings are right here. You just press and drag, and you just put them wherever you want. Standard margins are, about an inch in on each side, however you want it to type. Some people wonder why I come in so far when I'm typing. And for the demo, the reason I do it for the demo purposes is because I want to show off the margin release. And so I make my margins narrow so that you can hear that bell, and I can hit the margin pretty quickly, because when they're way out, you have to have like really long sentences to show you how that margin release works. So that's my reason. It reminds me of the story of, the ham, the woman putting the ham in the pot, and before she did, she cut the ends off, and somebody asked her why, and she said, because Mom did it. And so they asked Mom why she did it, and she said, because my grandma did it. And when they asked Grandma, she just said, well, the ham was too big for my pot, so I always chop the ends off. So there is a reason for why I do it. It's just not blind. So don't go and set your margins really narrow because you think that's what you're supposed to do. You set your margins to where you need them to be. Okay, on the left side, you'll see your line selector. And what that is when you hit the return handle, it's going to advance 1, 1.5, or 2 lines. So you just put it where you want it. Okay, I'm going to move this carriage. Oh, by the way, the carriage release, here's the levers behind the roller handles. Doesn't matter which one, just pull it in, and that releases your carriage Your carriage is only going to move as far as you have your margins set. So if I were to move these way out here, then the carriage would move the full width. Also, when you're turning the handle, you'll hear it click. And so let's say I'm reloading this paper. I already have something typed on here and it's not lining up just right. Well, there's a little button over here on the left side. It's black. It looks like it's just part of the handle, but it's a button. You just press that while turning the handle, and voila, you can kind of adjust your roller to exactly where it needs to be. Okay. Over to the left side, because I don't want to scratch this beautiful paint. This handle gets in the way of the cover, so when you need to open the cover, always make sure your carriage is off to the left. Pull that cover over, you'll see your ribbon in here. This takes a universal ribbon, and we have those on our website. They're actually very easy to find, and they come in multiple colors. We only have black or black and red combo. You'll find the link in the description below. We have a couple of options there. If you have your own spools, you can send us your spools and we'll roll it with ribbon. You can buy just kind of a pre-packaged option that we have, and it's inexpensive, and we'll send that off to you, or we'll hand roll 48 feet of ribbon for you, which I think is the best option. You can choose plastic or metal spools. You can choose the black-red combo or black only, and you get a whole lot more ribbon on your spool. Now, that being said, when you get to the end of the ribbon, it's not the end of the ink. You need to, with our spools, you have to manually reverse, and you do that right here. Okay, that's what this little lever is, and you barely move it and it switches back and forth. And you should be able to reverse the direction of your ribbon like 50 times before you need to change that out. Okay, let's hurry up here. Tab, my phone is about to die. So you have tabs, and you set it by hitting set. Okay, and clear. Should clear that, yep. You have your backspace. It doesn't erase, but it just backspaces so you can type over. Then you have your margin release. So when you get to the end of your margin, there's your bell. The margin release then lets you continue if you're in the middle of a word. This little lever is, let's say you get your keys stuck up there, which happens. That's supposed to, yeah, there you go. It'll pop that back down, or you can just tap it down with your fingers. You have a half space, regular space, and a power space on this typewriter. And then LMH, that determines how hard these type bars are going to strike your paper. And then your color selector, black on top, red, that's your color selector. So that is how you use your classic 12. I hope you love it. Again, this is a 1970. There's really hardly any difference between this and the 76 I already have on the YouTube channels. But I hope you found this helpful, and have a blessed day. Thank you.